Here with monkeys. People say we monkey around. We're too busy singing. Put anybody down. Well, hello. Got me coffee in hand. It's the weekend. Must be coffee with Scruff. And a warm welcome to one and all. And for those of you who have not seen me before, my name is Langers, and I am the overgrown child. No shock looking at my t-shirt. That is the Scruffy Trader. And before I start rambling on, a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't been here before or you're not already subscribed, please do so. Genuinely helps the channel. If you ask any comments below or email me, I genuinely answer every single one of them. And also, when I'm talking about communications, there are a number of fake accounts about at the moment.
You ding-dong!
Claiming to be me. I will never directly message somebody to try and sell cryptocurrencies or a course. Why? I don't believe in selling courses and I don't sell signals. So please report them if you ever come across them. So, what are we going to do today? What are we going to have a chat about? Well, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to have a sip of coffee. And why? It's been a rough week this week. Very busy. There's been a lot of changes in mine and Winky's life. And if you don't know, we actually sold our other business. And going forward next year, Winky is going to help me with the trades, because as many of you know, I run a number of accounts and it's getting a bit much. It's getting a bit much for me. I'm currently between YouTube, trading, prop, and the little bit of mentoring that I do, around 16 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and I'm still doing a good maybe 5 or 6 hours sort of across the weekend as well. I have very little time off. So I'm going to try and change that next year, which is why we decided that we do okay. And Joanne, it's her real name, Winky, wanted to spend a bit more time with our grandchildren and also kind of recapture some time, because that's what trading is. It's about capturing time. Well, that's what it is for me. You see, over the last, let's say I'm coming up 52 next birthday. I've worked pretty much every day from the age of 11. I know that sounds a bit odd going, you were at school. Yes, but I did milk rounds, I cut grass, I did newspaper rounds in an afternoon. And I've always done it to make some money. And even when sort of through further education, I always had another job, and I've worked constantly. You know, when I was in my late 20s, coming up to my 30th birthday, I decided that I'm going to work for myself full time, because up until that point, for all I was still working, I had businesses on the side. You know, I've done all sorts in my life. And for the last 25 years maybe, apart from, well, even when I've been on holiday, I've been working of sorts. I've never really had any time off. So we're going to try and correct that over the course of the future. So that's why we've sold up. And I have the pleasure that I work at home. And I guess that raises a question of, why do some traders succeed and others don't? Well, it's the same as with business. A lot of businesses fail. And they fail because they don't put the work in. They think automatically, you work for yourself, you have a business, millionaire. That's the way it works. You know, I mean, when we had the factory, that's the way our employees looked at me. It's all right for you. You can do what you want. Swanning around in your big car and flying off every 3 minutes. But what they don't understand is I work 3 times harder than what they do. You know, I'm there first, I'm out last. And even when I'm on holiday, I'm still doing emails, I'm still answering phone calls, etc., etc. And even now, in my trading career, as it's been over the last 5 years or so, that doesn't change either, because when I go on holiday, in fact, the only time that I don't really do anything is when I'm on a cruise. Why? Because I've got no access to the internet, so I can't literally do anything. So I'm looking forward to getting that back. So where am I going with this? Well, I'm going to kind of touch on the realities of trading. Is it all it's cracked up to be? Yes and no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by kind of giving you a quick update of the 5%ers, which is the account that I'm going to build up to show you how you can get your time back, and just using a prop firm in order to achieve that. You see, we all have this desire that you'll put your 200 quid into an account and you're going to be a millionaire. Why? Well,
You ding dong!
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
dickhead. And it's actually people like that that make me want to quit this, because they disillusion me so much, and then I get tarred with the same brush, and it really upsets me, because I would literally, I'd hang my head in shame, to be honest, if I was one of those people. You know, I try to be reasonably open. I know I get shredded all the time because people go, there's nobody that good and all this sort of crap. You only see a fraction on the screen of what I do. Just a fraction. You know, when you see me trade, you think I have the ultimate system. I don't. But what I do have is a bloody good filter. And it's my filters that make me a good trader.
You serious?
Because you can get in, flick of a coin, if you are on the right market. So that's where you see my strength sheet. My strength sheet filters everything down. Okay, I have a bias, filters that down even further. So when I'm going into market, I've already done my homework.
Isn't that logical?
Then I know how to read a chart. Now I do a top-down approach. I don't just look, you might see me on a 5-minute or a 15-minute for argument's sake, and you just see in the money roll in, but you don't see the analysis that I do, you know. And if you think for a second that you're going to buy a course off one of them bozos,
they've done studies, you know, 60% of the time it works every time,
and you're going to be rich, you're delusional. You genuinely are. Because there's no shortcuts. And I'm going to tap on that. In fact, what I'll do is, before I do that, I'll show you how much some of these courses are. And I've tested each of these courses, and they're utter dog shit. Utter dog shit. So here you go.
Matron, take them away.
Wow. And then people twist at me because to be part of the Scruffy squad starts at £1.99. And for the £1.99 you get to see my strength sheet, and you can come in the Discord and have a chat. If you're a rogue, which is the most expensive, not only do you come in, that there is one-to-one chat with me, you see exactly how I analyse it for them, I do all sorts. And then this morning I actually showed them how much I get paid off YouTube. And do you know something? It barely buys a cup of coffee a day, is how much YouTube pays me. In fact, I don't think it would buy me a cup of coffee a day.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee, 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 coffee. Cappuccino. Jabba. Yes.
So I do it as a passion project. It's not monetary. And those guys will tell you, I am there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And if they contact me at 11 o'clock at night, I still answer it. So look in the mirror and ask yourself, would you do it? I do it because I love it. I love my job. All right, I genuinely do. But there are other sides to it that I'm going to touch on. So let me fire this over and I'll show you. Because it's a little bit like a rant with Scruffy week before Christmas. Get all my grumbles out before I go to the pub nearly every day next week, because I am going to get battered next week. And why? Well, why not? It's bloody Christmas. You know, I don't do the happy holidays thing. It's Merry Christmas, and I'm going to be merry. I am. In fact, I am. I'm going to put my Christmas hat on, and I'm going to start getting in the mood. Because, well, you know what happens when you're married at Christmas? It's birthdays and Christmas.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I'll let those over 21 work that one out. Right, okay. What are we looking at here? It's a very small account. It's a £10,000 account. Well, $10,000 rather. And it is with the 5%ers. And if you're interested in using this, you'll find a link in the description and you'll get 5% off the fees. But also in the description, if you're looking for a broker, you will find Black Bull, which have good leverage at the moment. And if you use the link, you get free education. These are companies that I use personally myself and I fully endorse. But what's this? Well, it's a real-time statement. And I was talking earlier about being shredded. It's not many of them will put one of these up. And why? Because they don't do it. You know, they're very good showing you on a spreadsheet, and I show you mine on a spreadsheet. But I back it up with a third-party statement. And you can say what you like about me, I don't give a toss. I genuinely don't. I do what I do because I can. And there's a difference. I've challenged these so-called before, and I said I'll trade any day, any time, any market. And none of them take me up on it. And I've done that with the squad. In fact, I'd be interested to see if the squad respond to this underneath here, where I have asked them, said, you pick the chart, you pick the time, you pick the direction, and I'll trade it. Because you can catch the waves both ways. But you need to know what you're looking at. And that goes back to what you don't see. It's about analysis and understanding how a chart works. So I apply that to this. And I wanted to shorten real time. I've been on this, well, let's have a look. How long is this? 14 days. And I've given myself 4 months to achieve the funded account. Now the thing with the 5%ers is you are live from day one, but you won't get paid until you hit your milestone. Now the milestone on this one, if I move this down slightly, is 600. So as soon as I've done 600, I'll get my profit share. All right. And the way to succeed in this is not to look at the main balance here. It's to look at your drawdown. Because if you exceed that drawdown, you lose. They close the account. And that's how prop funds work. You know, you're given a limitation. So the way I look at this is, that is the size of the account. And that is my leverage. Which, when you break it down that way, it controls the costs of going to market. In other words, your position size. And it makes you think from a risk exposure point of view rather than a gun-ho point of view, because you've got a big account. And it's slow and steady growth. Now this week got kicked in the bollocks. You know, took a bit of a punch. One of my swing trades got clipped and it punched me, but didn't kill the account. And considering we started way back here somewhere, my equity growth is moving up. And that's what we try to achieve. So how do I do it? Well, in the 14 days, and bear in mind that takes weekends as well, so it's not actually 14 trading days, it's 14 physical days. I've taken 190 trades. I have a success rate on those trades of 90%. Now I average 80, 82, so I'm ahead of the game. And even getting a pretty bad punch, my profit factor, which is this bit here, is still greater than 1. It's 2.7. So overall, I'm still happy with this account. And I won't be doing a great deal with it now till the new year, because obviously it's Christmas week coming. And I don't really want to be sitting on trades because the markets will be flattening down for the holiday season. But it's in good stead for January. And then once I've achieved this 276, I will get a 40k account, because the way they work it is very simple. Just bear with me a second, get this thing to fire up.
Well, we're waiting.
There you go. This is what I'm actually doing. So get my 600, because I do recommend the low risk. It'll move to 40,000, and then it's on my way to 2.5 million. Am I going to do this quickly? No. Little steps and we'll be fine. So that's the update of where I'm at and what I'm doing. I'm very pleased with it. It's getting me to, actually, in a way it's keeping me sharp, because I've really got to think about what I'm doing with that. Because when you've got a big account, you can take ludicrous risks. It's very easy to make money off a big account, because you can ride out the market if you need to. When you've got a small account, you can't. And that comes back to earlier on when I said, why do businesses fail, and putting time in. There's another reason why businesses fail, and it's because they're undercapitalized. They haven't got enough money. You can't open up a shop on 200 quid. You have to build up to it. So how do you do that? Well, you could get some bric-a-brac and sell it on Gumtree or eBay or Craigslist if you're overseas. Turn that into extra bit of money, try and scrabble a bit more from maybe a car boot sale, then recycle it, upscale it again, till eventually you haven't got £200. You've got maybe £10,000 because you've really worked at it over the course of a year or two. Then you'll be able to open up a shop, because shops have big mouths. You've got rents to pay, you've got utility bills to pay, water, insurances, all sorts of different costs involved that you don't actually think about. Then you've got to kit the thing out. That costs a lot of money as well. And trading is the same. Take me cap off. Head's getting a bit hot. My little bobbly head there. So why is trading the same? Because if you go into it with just a couple £100 like these bozos at the start had told you, you're going to get wiped out every time, because you're taught to swing for the fences. And swinging for the fences is probably one of the worst things you can do as a day trader. As a swing trader, you need to do it. But as a day trader, it's pretty dangerous. And why? Because it only takes one to go wrong, and it'll knock you back so many steps. So it's very, very difficult. So where am I going at with my thoughts of trading and one thing and another? I guess the ultimate question, and it's where this video has come from, is I was picked up on something I said the other day. Why do you trade? Very, very simple. Why do you trade? And I asked it to ask the, or I should say I said it so the guys would think about what they're doing, because time and time again I get emails pretty much every day and they're always the same. I've traded for 5 years, I just can't seem to find my way, can you help me? I know nothing about you when I get a video like that, an email like that, you know, telling me how you're trading, you know, telling me why you're trading. You're not actually telling me what you're trying to achieve. And I'll respond with sort of like an open email, just with some basic advice, and then I never hear from them again. So what that tells me is that they're trading from a point of fast money. Why? Because they're looking for a magic pill, and because they haven't got it like that, the email is useless. My email to them, that is, because I think what they're expecting is I will give them a blow by blow. Yes, if you see this level you get in here, if you see this level you get out there, you adjust the MACD to this, and when it crosses that's when you get in, blah 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 blah. No, trading is not like that. Trading is not mechanical, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. There are certain things you can apply to the charts that are rule based. Your support and resistance, your areas of interest where you want to get involved in the market, and then you apply another set of rules as to why you want to get in. So it could well be a MACD cross, so you will apply that for your entry, and then your exit is the opposite. You either target, and you target a level above or a certain amount of pips, or when the price crosses a moving average. These are certain rules that you put into place in order to execute your trade. But every trade is individual, and they have to be, because the markets are living, breathing things. So many times you will go to market and you'll be convinced it's going to go up for whatever reason. Everything tells you it's going to go up. All the indicators say it's going to go up. Everything. And you've read the local bullshit on the forum saying it's going up, and it plummets. Why? Because the markets are erratic. So that makes every trade individual. So you've got to be able to read the conditions in the here and now, and that's why trading is hard, because a lot of people can't. They are looking for the magic system. And I've said this before, your greatest strength is not knowing what somebody doesn't know, it's actually knowing what they do know. And if you just take a stochastic for argument's sake, very, very simple, basic indicator. But if it's used properly, it's excellent. You know, when it's overbought, in this instance, is it telling you it's at the tipping point? Well, in this instance, yes, it was. It was telling you it was going to come down. But could you just use it on its own? No, of course you couldn't, because it's not enough. So what would you look for? Well, you look for other criteria. Have you got a Bollinger Band on your chart? Is your stochastic heavily overbought? Is it piercing the top of a Bollinger Band? And is it pushing into a level, and is there a pin bar? Now, if you have all of those put together, then you could make an assumption that, yes, I think this market is going to go down. But that's the word, it's an assumption. So you know it's going to come down, or at least you think it is. But if you can see that, is it reasonable to assume that the bigger boys can see it as well? And if they can see it as well, could they use that against you? Well, of course they could. So in the long term, the market possibly will be coming down. But in the short term, they're going to force it up to the next level. So what has that got to do with building up this particular trade? Well, what it means is you need to see the train moving. So if it's going to push to the next level, that next level can actually be your stop point, because the big boys will force the market up and then slam it back down. Why? Because they probably haven't got enough strength to keep it going in the same direction. But in the short term, they can squeeze it up, knowing that just on the other side of the first level, it's going to be a series of stops. Why? Because they know what your accounts are. Well, they don't actually know your personal account, but they know what the average account size is of a retail. And then going back to these courses I said at the beginning, they know the kind of crap that's peddled about your 2% rule and all of this sort of thing, so they can roughly work out where the stops are, force the market into them, and then come back. So when you start looking at the charts like that, you start building up a picture of how to make your plan and how to be sort of risk averse, if you like. Because for argument's sake, you're going to set your stop at 20, but the big boys often push the market to 40. Why not set your stop maybe 30 pips higher up? You know, or your position, frame your position up rather. So instead of entering here, enter up here with your stop. So it makes you risk averse. It's the same, and if you get triggered, brilliant. And if you don't, well, it's just a trade that didn't happen. But ask yourself this: how many times does it happen to you? Because you don't get it right all the time. Because if you did, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So what else? What else is trading? Why should you trade? I guess was the question at the start before I went off on one. For me, it's freedom. And it's freedom from working from the man. I'm happy to work the amount that I do. I've always done it, as I said. I'm just one of those people that's always worked. But do I trade all day? No, I don't. I trade maybe 2-3 hours at best per day. And then the rest of my time is filled up with research, in other words, marking my charts, ready for the next trade, analysing, writing notes down. So I've done my homework, and then when the trade comes, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go. I spend a lot of time editing videos and doing this for you guys. So that takes up a lot of my time. And if you appreciate it, by all means buy me a coffee, because that goes to charity close to my heart, and it actually motivates me to do this. And what else do I do throughout the day? Well, I used to run all the books for Winky's business, and now, year going forward, I'm going to spend more time doing one-to-ones, because I kind of shied away from it. I wasn't really interested in doing it because of time constraints. You know, it's just because it's never an hour. It's always a hell of a lot longer than any hour, and I had so much to do, I just couldn't fit it in. But now I'm not doing the books on the business and running various things for that. I'm freed up a little bit, and then finally I'm going to travel a lot more. So that's what trading and why I trade. So it's freedom, it's the enjoyment of doing it, because I love the challenge, and I enjoy this bit of what I do, YouTube, as a hobby, because you still need to keep yourself going. But I guess the question is, why do you lot trade? Well, I think there are 3 types of traders. You've got those that are disillusioned with the bank and maybe their employment, and they want to use their money to work better for them. You've got those that are just very, very interested in sort of the charts and the economics of how the world works. And then you've got the quick money guys. Two of those are going to fail. One of them has a chance. And you'd probably be surprised at the one I think has a chance. It's the guy that's disillusioned with the bank. They might make it. Why? Because they have an ultimate goal. And that's what any business owner will tell you. If you don't have a goal and a time horizon, that business will fail. You know, because your goal could be to increase 10% per year, 20% per year, or buy you something. It's tangible. And it means you can work towards it. You have a reason as to why you're wanting to do it. And that reason is, well, if I put 20 grand in the bank account, it's not even going to pay me 0.5%. So I might as well just put it under the bed, because inflation is higher than the bank interest. It's not going to do anything for me, so I have to make it work for me. So then you will methodically look at the charts in order to extract money. And you're not bothered about, well, basically all of the crap that goes along with it. You know, you just have an end goal. The guy who is obsessed with it, reads all of the news and wants to know all the economic data and talks the big talk in the pub or the golf club about how the world economy is evolving, will earn nothing. Because what they're doing is they're just speculating. You know, it's almost like the football manager syndrome. Well, if I managed that football team, I would have had this player doing that and that player doing the other, and that manager's an idiot. Yeah, well, that manager's probably getting paid 10 times more than you are, and he's not sitting in a pub blowharding about it. He's actually doing it. He's doing the job. And that's the thing. You know, I often used to get guys come down into the factory because we had a shop at the front of it as well. And they'd always tell me how to run my business and how they think it should work and all of this sort of thing. And I'd politely listen and sort of, okay. And then I watched them get in their battered Fiesta and I'd go home in my brand new Mercedes. So the yin and the yang. And I know there's the argument that it closed down, so what did I know? Well, there's a lot of factors behind that. But I had it for 15 years, so I must have done something right. And likewise with trading. I get a lot of people saying, well, what the hell do you know? Well, we're into our 3rd year of YouTube. I have over 1 million views. And I'm consistent. And I'm probably one of the only ones that shows a statement as regular as what I do. There's not many. And also, I don't try and flog you a course, because I'm not bloody interested in doing it. So there we go. Got no ulterior motives. And then there's the last one. Quick money. The crypto guy. Gonna make a fortune off 200 quid. You're a fucking idiot. Give it up and just put your money down the drain, because you're never going to make it. It is a long, hard battle. It genuinely is. And I know that's brutal. It's probably the brutalest thing you'll ever see on a trading channel, because you're always told it's brilliant. We're going to make a fortune. Trading's amazing. It is, if you know what you're doing.
No way!
And it is if you apply the right mindset. But if you're coming in with the mindset of quick money and just show me the magic pill, you're wasting your time. You genuinely are. And I guess that's why my channel's pretty small. I don't give false hope. and I never will. If you contact me, I'll tell you the way it is. Can I tell you what the magic pill is? Of course I can.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
You know, I owe nobody nothing. I've been kicked from pillar to post this last 2 years. And some of the emails and the comments and everything that I get are disgraceful. You know, and that's kind of where the Scruffy Squad was formed.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
But what I will say is that I genuinely love my job. When I do a video like this, it's never edited. I never edit any of them. I'll rephrase that. As you might guess, I never script any of them. It's all off the top of my head. You know, it's just what's in my heart over a coffee cup. And it's kind of my therapy, if you like. And if you pick something up from it, brilliant. And if you don't matter. You know, it just helps me. Anyway, so what was I saying? Small YouTube channel. Maybe that's why it's small, I guess. Maybe it's brutal. Maybe I should tell you you're going to make a fortune. Maybe I should say I can lead you to the road of riches like what some of them do. It's not my character. And I'll never really understand why some of these videos or some of these YouTube channels have such a big following. Because most of the time they're just crap. And a lot of people think mine's crap, which is fine. I do it for my own enjoyment. I don't do it to sell a course, and I certainly don't do it to please the person who kicks it into me. And if they're getting some joy out of kicking it into me, well, it serves the same purpose, doesn't it? Some people have enjoyed the content and you've enjoyed kicking it into me, so you both enjoyed it. Which is a bit odd, really, because my biggest fans are the ones who hate me the most. They insist on watching every one of my videos and being quite sarky about them, which astounds me. You know, don't like it, don't watch it. It's that simple. You know, but you're compelled to watch it. Why? So you can kick off. Well, all you do is just proving that you're a complete tosspot and probably need to get a life, and it's a reason why your arm's fucking massive. So, anyway, it's Christmas. I'm going to put my hat back on. I'm going to enjoy next week, and who knows, see what next year brings. If I'm here, fantastic. If I'm not, do well. Keep those risks managed. But above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.